Hello, I'm Badger Bates from Wilcannia, Western New South Wales, on the Darling River. I was one of the lucky ones that never lived in a mission, just reared up on the riverbank in a tin hut and just learned to carve by my old grandmother when I was about 8-year-old, carving emu eggs and that and making wooden artefacts. And then sort of just in my growing up days, I always used to muck around and start scribbling on things and mucking around and then watching other people work and stuff. Never went to art school at all, just went for a couple of days and I just got bored. My biggest break with the art world was in 1980 when I got a job at National Parks and went to Broken Hill. I met some of the other artists in Broken Hill and black and white artists, and then they asked me to carve the sculpture on the hill for Fred Hollows, a fellow by the name of Lawrence Spector. And in 91, 93 I started carving lino, and then 93 I think I had an exhibition here so long ago at the Tin Shed, and I was just looking at some of my work behind me is bring back old memories when I first started carving lino. I was carving emu eggs too, the same sort of technique, and it was just hard because when you carve emu egg, you get a pocket knife and hold the egg lard and you pull the knife towards you. With the lino, you had to push it away from you. That was the hardest thing. But when I carved it, there was a lot of cursing going on because it was a new technique. But yeah, my artwork is focused on my upbringing around Wilcannia, the Darling River, and the fish. And so if anything moving in the water, it'll push the water and it'll go like that, see? So that's burned up one, and like the yabby and the shrimps. This one here is called Baakantji Napalana Morni. That's mean the porcupine digging for ants, right? And it's the ants, he's going to get this one, see his tongue come out. And then this is the ants in the little hole, see the eggs and that. Me, I'm a Baakantji person, so I'm a Barker Wiembidge. That means I'm a Darling River blackfella, and we get our name. We call ourselves Baakantji, but that's from the Darling River. We call the Darling River Barker, so that's how we get our name, and that's who we are. We river people. So I just sort of focus on the things I hunt in the bush, like stories about the rainbow serpent on Ngati, as we call it, lives in the river, and I just focus on stuff around home and stuff like that, yeah. This one here is called Tinna Yappa, and that's mean foot tracks. And with this one, it's sort of focused on Morawinji. I got the Ngati because it lives in the water hole. There's stencils on the wall at Morawinji, and then just some animal tracks, but also they got a big dam blocked off, the whitefella blocked off the water supply for Morawinji, that's a creek. With us Baakantji people, we sort of divided into two lots of people, or two moieties. We are called Gilbert and McRae, and Gilbert and McRae mean the eagle, hawk and crow, that's the moiety. So if you're a McRae person, you can't marry a McRae person, you got to marry a Gilbert person who's a crow person. And I come from the McRae mob, that's the eagle mob, and sort of I'm mad on carving eagles. Sometimes I'll carve stone eagles and do a lot of work with about eagles. And it's sort of, I think when the old people a long time ago sorted things out with your moiety, because if we would just say I'm a wedge-tailed eagle and I can just eat anything in the bush, we just overeat everything. So we have to have something there to protect for other people, and that's why they said the dingo, the bandicoot, brolgan, and a couple other little things, that's your brother and sister, you must never touch him, because that's someone else's moiety, but someone else can eat that animal, but we're not allowed to. So we try to share that thing, and even some of the plants, we can't eat and stuff like that, yeah. What we was learned is that if you go out and you catch a fish or you kill a kangaroo, you must never just go and just eat it. You must always look at the animal, look at it and thank it. but also try and look through it so you could see the structure of the bone. And that's what I do. Even with my artwork now, I'll tell people that if you catch a fish, look at it first. Don't just go and chuck it on the coals and cook it and just eat it. Inside there's a white layer underneath the intestines. If you're careful and you pull that out, and old people used to show us, and they'd get it and stick it on a piece of cardboard. If you take the white thing away, it's hard, but inside there, again, there's a lot of veins, but if you lie it out, it'll show you the tree where the cod was born. My dad, he was a white man, so mum and dad couldn't marry, and when I was growing up, I used to be always at the move. We couldn't stay in one place for a real long time because the welfare would come along and take the fair kids, and which I was a target for them. So I'd sort of travel in a triangle in my younger days from Wilcannia up the Burke, across the Gilbert and down to Lake of Jellicoe. It was sort of hard, we didn't have much to eat, but it was good in a way because I met like the Murawara people, the Ngimpa people, Budgery, you name them. I met a lot of the old people. To see something in the night is different from when you look at it in the day, and that's where I sort of get a lot of my ideas from, just sitting around. I look at the trees and things moving. Oh, Granny had something there, but a lot of people used to call her a Mika Janunga, that's mean a clever woman. And I don't know, she could just see, I don't know, there was just something there. She worked my life out for me, and when I do my artwork, I think of my poor old grandmother. She died in 1977, and then I feel a little bit of breeze, and I know she's around and she's proud of me for what I'm doing, so I just continue doing it.